Non mi giocare i poveri Giulia, non muoia.
And we call taxi, and I put Killian, I opened the door behind, I put him in the taxi, and I close the door, and I want to go inside, and Killian go out there.
You're gonna get someone messaging you afterwards saying, "Why did you mention me?"
Hey, fuck them.
She say, I cry because you are here today.
Πάμε σιλά καμουθιά, βρέγα, βρέγα, βρέγα.
Edo! Back out the blue, back out the zoo, the alphas are back.
Hey.
Come, I am. This brother is back. What's going on, my guy?
Hello. What's up, man? How you doing? How's everyone?
I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed, especially now that you're back. What's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, we've been talking for quite some time. You know, I wasn't a no-show. I mean, I'm not going to sit and explain why I've been, you know, a no-show for quite some time. Yeah.
We got fed up with you. Got rid of you. That's why.
Yeah, but it was always at the back of my mind. You know, I was waiting for the right moment, and because of Petros' birthday today, happy birthday, Petruimu, na berai sorea orfa. And it was a bit spontaneous. I think the fact that I didn't have a lot of time to think about it made me want to do it. I know it's not going to be one of the, you know, very popular pods tonight because of the game, but whoever's going to be watching, I hope they enjoy.
Listen, if they're not watching live, then they're missing out. What can I say? We've gone retro, boy. Come on.
It's because I got a new tablet. How can I see the messages if they're going to be messages? I'm worried that if I press something and I'm going to press something and wait, hold on.
No, press something. Go on, press something.
No, it's a conversation, dude. Comments. Yeah, comments.
I'll bring them up, man. I'll bring them up.
The
OGs are back. You see? Nothing changes. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. Like, he's booted himself out. What the fuck? Right. Like, seriously. What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know. I did something. I'm not going to. I promise I'm not going to press anything again. I thought since we're going back to how it used to be, man, and then it's that. It was always been like that, man.
At least your internet is working, bro.
No, my internet,
Fucking. I was bringing up the comments and you fucked up here. The OGs are back, right?
Yeah.
Glad to see you guys. Michali, he's on 502 now. Fucking hell. Come on. Pedro's out. He's not even a beta. Come on. Let's not be mean. Let's not be mean to Pedro. It's his birthday, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here we go. DS Jimmy. That's a new name.
Yeah.
And he's gone.
Poof.
Fucking Houdini. Blinking, you miss him. Biggest surprise ever. Mario, what's going on? We got 35 people watching live. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Tell your motherfucking NOUNA. Tell the bitch. Because I'll tell her. I don't care. I don't care. That's it. So, bro, we're going to talk about the 3-1 victory over the Pigeons.
Yeah.
It's quite ironic because they're playing at the same stadium as the Goddess. So, you know, must be a bird thing. All we need is I was going to say the turkeys, but we don't want to talk about them. Oops. Fucking hell. So, come on, bro. Tell me.
Well, okay. You know, after we dropped 5 points the last 2 games against Apoel and Apollon. And for a lot of people, you know, these 2 games, today with Aradippou and the next one with Olympiacos, are must-win games, you know?
Yeah.
And in the past, we have been victims of surprises of these sort of games, whether it be at home or away. So, you know, like we always used to say, there aren't any easy games if you're not serious στο γήπεδο. Definitely the 2 early goals we scored helped the game. I was hearing the commentator saying that Aradippou hasn't conceded more than 1 goal in the last 5-6 games. I mean, not just 1 goal. I mean, but not more than a goal.
More than 1 goal in the game, yeah.
Yeah, which was very important. We spoke off camera. There are certain positives we can get. The most important are the 3 points, which are very important. They keep us in track because it's going to be a very difficult second round because we've got most of the derbies away. But anyway, we're going to have a chance to talk generally a little bit more. But as far as the game's concerned, we had a lot of players out like Tankovic and Azungul and Maric, and Mae was injured, Stepinski as well. So we saw a lot of new faces. When I got the message with the starting lineup, I was quite pleased because I wanted to see Hamas start a game. I wanted to see Dionku, even though I think Kitsos and Masura has been outstanding for us this season so far. But because exactly the season is going to be very long, I think we need to see some players get some minutes under the belt, because as the season progresses, it's going to be a lot more difficult to have someone play when he's been sitting on the bench for a long time. Yeah. So I was happy to see those guys, Angelos, Neofitu and Evangelos Andreu. I think they deserve to start today after the European game and their performance. One was an MVP, the other one was one of the better players. Kuli was back in action. I think for me, he's a pivotal player in the way Omonia wants to play. He's a calm power in the middle of the park. So, yeah, I mean, there's quite a lot of positives. But I think that the game ended before it finished. You know, it ended
before it began.
Before it began, yeah. Like the first 2 goals, and even like we had a chance with Jovetic at the 10th minute to make it 3. Okay, after that, for like, I don't know, about 10, 15 minutes, we weren't as aggressive as we started, but it's only logical. We got the 3rd one, and, you know, the second half, I think we're just gutted that we conceded a goal, to be honest, because I wanted to keep a clean sheet, something that, you know, we started the season having a lot of clean sheets, but the last 2 games we've conceded some cheap goals, which I wasn't very happy about. But at the end of the day, 3 points, happy days, and we move on. What do you think, my friend?
Well, if we want to start off with the lineup, I'm happy to see rotation being done at the right stages now. It came to a point in this season where I felt that some players were overutilized, and I felt that the burnout would start happening. And if you notice, when Eiting got a recurrence of his knee injury, that's when Berg kind of felt, I need to start rotating. I need to start making a few changes here and there. And he was doing it in Europe, which surprised everyone, practically including myself. But to be fair, I think what he's doing now is he's giving players the opportunities to not only get minutes, but to show their worth. There's a lot of contracts up in the summer, which is something that we need to really take into consideration. But I think he's questioning the hunger of certain players. I think he knows that there are many players who are guaranteed starters, but he wants that competitiveness. And the one thing I've always been told by players, past and present, is your biggest opponent is a player that's on the training field, that's in the same position as you, because you're fighting for that position. So in terms of the lineup today, didn't have a problem with it at all. We've had so many injuries, and whatever it is, as you mentioned, Tankovic, Agozul was out, Maric was out. That's 3. Stepinski, all right, I don't think he would have played, but he'd still be in the squad. You're talking about 4 or 5 players.
Maya as well.
Maya, and I think we need to talk about him later on in terms of his injury record. But again, we're not gonna go into that right now. So you're talking about 4 or 5 players, which would have been in and around the squad list for today's game, but we've got strength and depth. And to be honest, with the exception of maybe Buffer, and you could even argue Ari, I don't think anyone else has got that strength and depth within the squad. And it's actually looking like Berg is actually managing the system and the players better than in the past. Do you remember when we went through that stage where we were playing Europa League, Conference League, or whatever it was, and you'd see the league game would usually falter because it was the European game and perhaps the squad wasn't strong or didn't have enough depth? Now he's utilizing every player in specific positions, which again, got no problem with.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's something that if you want to compete and go all the way, you need squad depth and quality as well. And everyone was talking about, how this season, Evandro, Kitsos, Masuras are different players. Even Willy Semedo is having a very good season so far. Look, last year he wasn't as good as we were used to him being. But for me, on the other hand, there were certain players who these players took their position. For example, Hamas, Tiuncu, Erakovic, Stepinski, Simic. All these players, I wanted to see them get their opportunity and okay, it's not very easy to rotate, have a heavy rotation week in, week out. And, people say up till now, like the game we lost against Dachna, he changed 7 players. But eventually you have to start giving people minutes so you can, like you said, you can judge them on the ground. And it's going to be a long marathon, and we need all the help we're going to need. Plus, you said some of the players are running out of contract. Is also the window in January, which you need to judge if you do need to strengthen the squad, where and who. So Berg is being fair. Obviously, okay, some players might feel like they deserved more minutes, but at the end of the day, he's starting to give opportunities to everyone to prove that they can help, and is very, very important. Because, like you said, it wasn't just today missing 4 or 5 players, either for injuries or cards, but also Kitsos, Masuras, Semedo didn't play. So it was a completely different team for the most part of it, and Haji Giovanni's and Hamas, and you were wondering how these players are gonna play together, because you need the cohesion, you need the teamwork, the understanding. So I was quite pleased in that sense. So yeah.
Also, was this the first time we saw Evandro and Aiting as a central midfield combination? I don't know. Maybe am I wrong? Is this the first time we've seen them together? The midfield two.
I'm trying to think of the beginning of this. I'm pretty sure they played, because Evandro has played probably most of the games of Omonia, and Aiting played in the beginning. But you mean as a 6 and an 8? You mean like today?
Because I know Evandro's been playing as a 10 at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
so
it was Maric and Aiting, and then Evandro was further up. Yeah, I thought you meant like it was the first time they played
in the same team. No, in the same.
I think it's the first time. Yeah, but it was a game that allowed you, because in the past we were playing with 2 number 6s like Maric and Kusulos, and everyone was saying, we need to have a more direct approach to the game and wasn't necessary. Today, having Aiting and Evandro, I think, it was the first time, I think.
I think it worked well. And in all fairness, I expected more of a aggressive game from Aradippou, in all fairness, because I've been watching them this season. And there have been games where they've really got stuck in to the opponent. But their midfield today, it's almost as if you're bypassing him with one or two passes. So, but then again, I think it helps when you get 2 early goals.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
maybe it would have been a different game if we didn't score so early. But let's talk about the goals actually.
The underdogs, man. When they concede 2 early goals, it's really difficult with the dynamic. And Omonia is a serious team this year, you know.
Mm.
Yeah.
I started to believe it a couple of weeks ago, to be honest. Those wins against NOCHOFTES in IL, I didn't really read too much into it because we blew them away and they were so terrible then. But to be honest, before the Upwell game, even after it, I don't know if you saw the review of the Upwell game. I was telling everyone, just calm down. Like, all right, we blew it, but the fact is, you know, they're not making the stupid mistakes as that they used to. Okay, fair enough. We were conceding silly goals, but sometimes you can't avoid it. But it just seems that this squad is much different. And I think the other thing which no one's really mentioned is this. It seems to be more harmonious. We're not having statements from the club. We're not having the president coming out, not hearing other people's names mentioned. And I think that makes the coach's job that much easier.
Yeah, well, okay. The results help, and I think is what we said in the past, that the fans care more about the game and how the team plays. Once the team gives you what you want, then the rest are easier to fall into place, you know. And granted, I think Berg being there as well, the squad's okay. They're avoiding mistakes, and with the game with Upwell, what pissed me off the most is that we should have won that game, and that if we had won that game, we would have been 5 points ahead of Upwell, 4 points ahead of Bafo. But it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, we're still a very good team. I don't know if we can go all the way. I want to believe that we can go all the way. But it's going to be a lot more difficult the second round because we're playing most of the derbies away from home. And, you know, we haven't got a lot of fat to burn. That's why I got pissed off when we dropped points against Upwell.
Do you know what? It's the old cliche. Teams are taking points off each other in this league. I mean, you saw tonight with Agrida drawing against Ajax, which is a massive result for us anyway. And Buff were just about sneaking a win the other day. All right, Ari have been hit, miss, or maybe, in all fairness. They haven't been too clever.
Yeah, at home, they've won all their games at home. But they're not as scary as they used to be. I don't know if they're not playing at the full of their potential, but I think Omonia plays the best football in the league. Obviously, if you add to the equation the European campaigns, Pafos has more success. But as far as the style of play, I think it's undeniable that Omonia is playing the best football so far.
Well, look at the second half against Buffer. Look at that second half. They went 5 at the back, and we said, "Fuck it, let's bring on a forward, get Jovetic as a 10, and go for it." We tore them apart. Absolutely tore them apart. So I just think that there's more substance to this team than what there used to be. You know, last season and the year before, it was a case of, all right, it's game day. What Omonia is going to show up? Whereas now it's like, we know what Omonia is going to show up, but only Omonia can fuck Omonia. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It makes perfect sense. But what do you think the difference is? Is it Berg? Is it the group of players? Is it the leadership? Because we're discussing about character, leadership, mentality. What has changed?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, as you said just then, is the mentality. I think that Berg or whoever's there. I mean, look, I personally think our best signing this summer has been Gonzalez, the assistant.
Yeah.
I think he's been our best signing. I don't think people realise how important he's been for us in terms of advising Berg or assisting Berg with tactical changes, little tweaks here and there. But I think the mentality is the most important thing. That the biggest difference. There are games where we've gone a goal behind, and we've shown resilience. And there have been games that we've lost or drawn, and we've bounced back.
Yeah.
The Upwell one, okay, we drew, and it felt like a loss to many people. And then there was the international breakers, for fuck's sake. And then we came back in against Apollon and put in that kind of performance, which it was terrible. But you know what? It hasn't really made much of a difference in terms of our league position. We're still up there. We haven't lost much ground. So I think, there's more, it's a happier environment.
Yeah.
And it just seems that there isn't any negativity within the squad. I haven't noticed anything. I haven't noticed players arguing. I haven't noticed anything really. So I guess there's that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think because we've got the depth there, Roy, and it seems that we've got players to cover specific positions as well. So if Semedo isn't available, we've got 2 or 3 options to go there, even if the third option is a makeshift player in that position. If we need a 10, we've got a 10. If we need a right winger, we're covered. I think for me, the one position I think we're lacking, and then again, I've been saying this for a couple of years, is a midfielder that can win the ball. If we get that kind of player there, that's got that physicality, that can read the game well, then I think agree. That's the. Yeah.
I agree. I agree 100%. I'm thinking of maybe a number 8, because when Aitin was missing, we were sort of experimenting a little bit. And I believe I've said this before, that, if Hambos didn't leave, he would have been a very, very good... he would have got a lot of opportunities with Aitin out. And I think he's the player closest to what Aitin can bring to the game. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like Eragovic is having a great season this year, but he only recently started getting his opportunities. So yeah, I agree with what you said, with number 6 that can, like a pit bull, if you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe a number 8 as well.
The thing is with Aiting, it's very easy for us to say, oh, we missed him when he was unavailable. And that's simply because of the standard of football that he's played at throughout his career.
Yeah.
So you got a player with that quality, of course you're going to miss him. But, yeah. I mean, which games, how many games did we lose when he was out? 1?
Yeah, 1 game.
Mainz, 2?
But it was at a time where we started conceding goals, and I think he made everything click with this simplicity. That's what I think. There was more balance, because it's different playing with Maric and Kousulos and different playing with Maric and Aitin. In that sense,
of course.
He makes everything tick. This is what I think about Aitin. Without him being flashy, or he's just simple is difficult, and he does that perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we're talking about Aitin. Do you think that he's going to be used sparingly? And by that I mean, let's say for example against Olympiacos, let's say we're 2-0 up at half time. He needs to be taken off after an hour. He's not going to play a full 90 because of the knee problems that he's had. Don't want to risk it.
Yeah, I can only guess. Definitely, it's this sort of injuries is like everyone says, is and Bolaipuli. It's you might think you're okay, then you might not. You can train, and then you might step on your foot, and then something happens, and then the pain comes back. So, I'm pretty sure they have to talk with the medical staff and advise them on how to approach. I don't think that he's going to start playing week in, week out, Europe, full 90 minutes, obviously, because he's been out for almost 2 months. So even if he is perfectly fit, to play. I think that they should protect him in that sense, and hopefully, if because like I say, the season is going to be long. If he feels stronger and better, maybe slowly he's going to start playing even more minutes. But yeah, you shouldn't start using him every single game for 90 minutes, in my opinion.
And what about Maya? Because this is another player who I had my reservations about when we signed him, mainly because someone that you and I know,
yeah,
we'll go into this in a bit, was working with him at Stoke City and told me that he had a lot of fitness and injury issues. Now, when we signed him, I thought this could be a risk because of those injuries. And don't get me wrong, he's done all right. He hasn't been, lighting up the league or whatever, but he's done all right. But this is what, the second or third game he's missed now in the last few weeks. He came on against Apoel.
Yeah, but apparently he had a hamstring injury in the European game when he was introduced, and then he got subbed like 8 minutes later, and then the following game was the game with Apoel, and everyone was saying, "Oh, he's not going to play." Then he came on as a sub, he scored the goal. Then again, so maybe they tried to approach it a bit more conservatively, and then they see that it doesn't get better. So now maybe they said, let him rest for a couple of weeks, since, you're playing against lesser opponents like Aradippou and Olympiaco, and you can afford to let him rest. And hopefully he's going to be back, because I think he's got a lot of quality. And he showed glimpses of that quality. And on his good day, I think he can offer things that no other centre forward can. He can play with his back against the goal. He can play up front. He's good with his head. He's skillful. He can hold the ball. There's a lot of things that he can do. But other than his injuries, I'm hearing from people in Limassol who knew him from when he played for AL, that sometimes he has like some, let me see how I can put this the right way. He's psychologically, he's not there at all times. So maybe he can get easily disappointed or lose concentration or get annoyed or, stuff like that. So if he concentrates on his football, and like Berg can do that with him and make him feel important, I think he can offer a lot. But on the other hand, he has to understand that there's a lot of competition,
Yeah. I think it might help that he's got a lot of French-speaking players in there with him.
Don't get me wrong. I haven't seen him not enjoying his time at the club. I'm not saying that. I'm not insinuating anything. But yeah, I think he's a very good player, and he's got a lot more to offer.
He needs to be wrapped in cotton wool, but. What I will say about him, I think what's impressed me most about him is how he slots into this system. It's like the final piece of the jigsaw kind of thing. He slots into, because when we're playing this counter-attacking football, we saw against Anorthosis how him, Semedo and Tankovic absolutely tore them to shreds. And if you've got Andrea on the right-hand side, or Hadji Giovanni, or whoever's got pace down that right-hand side, we could rip teams to shreds. And when he came on against Apoel, it filled me with a lot more confidence, because while Jovetic was doing all right, it's almost as if Laifi and Borison knew how to cope with him. Yeah. But then when Maya came on, he added an extra dimension, and he was able to stretch the play. And that way, Semedo was able to drift inside, add more pace going forward. The passing was better. And look, on the half turn, he's one of the best in the league, Maya. He gets that ball, twists and turns, and then he'll either swivel and take a shot, he'll take a touch and move it forward. So he offers a lot. But I think the one thing that's letting him down the most right now is something that isn't his fault, and that's the injuries. So perhaps they're going to use him and Eiting in a similar way, in the sense that, right, we know that you've got some issues, but we can afford to rest you for some games, because there are games where you're going to be needed and you're going to make an impact.
I mean, I can only guess because, you know, that they're not going to issue a statement saying, oh, you know, this is what we're going to do or whatever. But, you know, it's yeah.
It's game management. It's game management.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
go. So,
But, I mean, we haven't spoken about the game much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I don't know.
what positives do you get out of the game today?
The first positive is the fact that we went for it straight away. It wasn't as if like we were waiting to see them come at us and see how they're going to play. We were like, no, we're going to go at it. We're going to go for it and see what we can get out of it. The second positive is we scored goals that stemmed from set pieces, like free kicks that came into the box, and we caused them all sorts of problems. And then you could talk about other positives: the build-up play, how comfortable our players were on the ball. We had more minutes for Neofidel. Dodis came on. Andreu was fantastic. The assist for the third.
Yeah, it was
incredible. Yeah. So, yeah, loads of positives, man. Obviously, conceding a goal we're not going to be happy with. But listen, we closed the game off. It was a professional second half. That's pretty much it, man. Pretty much it.
Yeah. No. Well, I can't see the messages or how many people are watching us, so I don't know.
I'll bring them up. There's quite a few. Hang about. Let's have a look. Roy's game analysis is always a melody in my mind. Missed that. Hello, motherfuckers! What a surprise! Yes. Welcome to the Chestnuts. Okay. Against Zira, maybe that one. Oh, you mean Vandro and okay. Our resident Olympiago fan. Kalispera to Omonia brothers. May you come to the game on Saturday to fund our January transfer window. Thank you. I think they're going to go balls deep this summer, this January. I think Olympia are going to bring in 2 or 3 players from what I've heard. Anyway, back to the future episode. Because it's Pedro's 69th birthday. Why 69? Soon enough, the only unpredictable thing will be the reason Stepinski is out. Adre, George, man. You're on one tonight. Flipping hell. There, guys, Jove needs some time because this was Aradippou. What if it was a derby? Yeah, does he need a bit of a break?
I mean, what you said about Aiting and Mae, I think they're trying to do with Jovetic as well. I mean, he didn't travel in some of the European games. He also got an injury that kept him out for almost a month or so, or just over a month. He's not getting any younger. But he's at times he's got so much quality and so much skill that, you know, he's a level above everyone in the league, I think, when he's on his good day. But okay, I mean, we've got, like you said, we've got a lot of options, and I think when Jovetic plays, he doesn't. Oh fuck. The last time I said this was about Jordi, and then, you know, he remember he clipped that. He kept it. Yeah, fuck. What I'm trying to say is that I think Tankovic is under the shadow of Jovetic. You know, so
yeah,
like Tankovic up till now hasn't. I mean, he's got 4 assists and a goal, but I'm sure he wants to play better as well. But, you know, there's so many options around the area that they try and use him in different positions every time, and he can't play. And I think his best position is the same that Jovetic plays as well. They like to track back, get the ball. They're selfish in that way. But, you know, we've got options. It's positive. It's positive.
Yeah, look, Jovetic always wants to play, which is understandable. He always wants the ball. You could tell today he was getting a little bit frustrated, especially with some moments where perhaps he felt he could have got a free kick here and there. But I think that just shows that he's competitive and he just doesn't like losing. So, you know, nothing wrong with that. What has changed is the Bergism effect. Yeah, yeah. Now, here's a question. Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Opinion about Mushalovsky?
Yeah, actually, you know, do you mind if I speak in Greek for a little bit?
Shoot.
For the people watching, I don't know how many people are watching, but I'm sure some people are like...
74. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. Subscribe, tell your NOUNA. And also, by the way, we've got Patreon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Analysis videos, €3 a month. Done now.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, shoot.
Ναι, βασικά για τον Μουσαλόφσκι είναι ένας από τους λίγους παίχτες που θεωρώ ότι μπορεί και να διοικηθεί καν. Δεν ξέρω, επειδή είναι ο δεύτερος προπονητής που έδειχνει να του διά πολύ εμπιστοσύνη, αν δεν προσπαθεί πολλά στην προπόνηση, third, ναι, τρίτος, ναι, μπράβο, σωστά, ναι, ο Βάλτας, ναι, ο Αναστασίου και τώρα ο τούτος. So, when we signed him last year, I had really high expectations, and unfortunately, I couldn't. We couldn't see what we expected from him. I think he's a very big talent, but whenever he plays, he shows glimpses of what he can do. So I don't know if αν αδικείται με τη μέχρι τώρα παρουσία του. Αλλά ναι, it's always positive to see him. He's got an intent, he's direct, he can dribble players. He seems to enjoy while he's playing football, you know? So I'd like to see him get more minutes, but I don't know the reason why he's not getting so many. How can I press pause for a second? Because I need to...
You want to pause?
Yeah, just a second, only just 30 seconds.
Okay, I can remove you, if that helps.
That's, remove me for 30 seconds.
30 seconds, okay. I've removed him for 30 seconds, okay. It's cool, he'll be back, I promise, he'll be back. Now, Mushalovsky, I rate him. I think he's an incredible talent. I think this is a kid that came with, as Roy said, a big reputation, having played at Liverpool. But the problem with Mushalovsky is pretty simple. I don't think he does enough off the ball. And that's probably why the coaches that have been at this club haven't utilized him as much as we would have wanted. Seems to me he doesn't like pressing. Seems to me he doesn't read the game well from a defensive perspective. But on the flip side, going forward, he's frightening. Absolutely frightening. And as Roy said, we've only seen glimpses of him and he's frightening. So you're in a situation where do you adapt your system to suit him, or do you expect him to play your system? It's always going to be the latter. You can't change your system to accommodate one player because it fucks everything all up. Now, again, perhaps the reason why he hasn't been playing is because he doesn't do the pressing that Berg wants him to do. Perhaps in training he hasn't been great. I'm just speculating here. Okay, I don't know anything. I mean, I'm one of his biggest fans. I'd love to see him back at the club, playing regularly anyway. Roy, you ready? Ready? You're ready. He's ready. So yeah, I don't know if you heard anything what I said about Mushalovsky, but
a little bit, because it was for the reason I told you earlier. There's still some messages coming. Yeah, so maybe it's obviously I don't know about his work rate, his movement off the ball, if it's tactical or anything. Having talent is not enough, but nonetheless, I wanted to see a bit more of him, and I thought actually with Berg he would have gotten more minutes, but okay, it is what it is. I mean, we said earlier about the importance of having squad depth, but obviously some players will always feel like they're having less time than what they deserve, maybe, or whatever. Yeah. But like I said,
you have to earn your place, bro. You have to earn your place.
Yeah,
you have to earn it. You have to show that you deserve it. And obviously he's not in the European squad, so he's not got the opportunity to do that. But maybe against Olympiacos he might get a game. Maybe, listen, we've got Rapid Vienna after that, and then we got AEK. So I don't see him getting anywhere near the lineup then. But we got Ethnigo after Rakov at the end of December, and then Agrida away. So again, you just never know. You just never know. So, and Duxie, man, listen. What I have to say though is I've been so happy with Nel Fiddle, so happy, because I don't think a lot of people realize the pressure that the lad is actually under. Let's not forget the past strikers that we've had, let's go from, say, Matt, for example.
Yeah.
Matt, Dura, Shepa, Matavs, Hooper, Gagu, etc., right? And Nelfield's come in, Karim, that's right. And Nelfield's come in effectively to replace Gagu, right? Similar sort of player, right? Although Gagu's probably got more pace, whereas Nelfield's better at finishing. Yeah. And he doesn't look uncomfortable in this team, whether he'd be playing up front on his own or with Jovetic backing him up, or even if he has to do the dirty work. I mean, the goal he scored the other day was sublime.
Yeah.
And today, which is finish.
Yeah. Well, you know, for someone who doesn't understand a lot of football, some might say that, you know, that there's nothing really special about him. Like, he doesn't seem like he's very good at something specific. But I think all around, he's a good player. He's 20 years old. He's still young. He's still learning. It's basically his first season playing with the first team. Berg seems to trust him and like him. So obviously it's the opposite of what we're saying about Mushalowski, is that Berg sees something in him in training. Maybe it's his ethic, maybe it's his effort, maybe it's his press, maybe it's the variety of things he can offer to the game. And, you know, Berg wants his team to be... he wants players that can do more than one thing. He doesn't like players that can just do one thing well. So, yeah, so I'm very happy for him. We happen to exchange some messages from time to time, and I told him to keep his ears shut, especially when he's doing well, because, you know, and he seems to be really down to earth. He appreciates like the advice we give him and all of that. So, yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very happy for the Evangelos Andreu as well. The lad came from AEL, like as a last metagraphy. If you thought about his career last year, he was playing for Paralimni. He was a talent back when he was playing for AEL, but you know, I'm really, really happy for him. I really like that guy. He seems fearless, you know, and the way he plays is, you know, even if a game doesn't go really well for him, he just needs one movement and he can change the whole game. I really like him, and he looks cool as well. I like his curly hair. I like the way he moves. Yeah.
Well, you got to think about this. He joined us, and within a few weeks, he was in the national team. Oh. So I think that just shows the progress that he's made. But again, you know, look.
And a lot of people forgot about Loizo.
Well, this is it. I was going to mention him. And look, we can say what we want. Anyone can say what they want about Loizo, okay? And look, for me, I still think the lad is a quality player, okay? Yeah. You can't, just because he left us, however he left, whatever allegations there were about him, in terms of his personality, whatever, you can't dispute the fact that he was a quality player. You know,
no one does. I don't think anyone does.
Bro, look how many times that we were talking about him when we first started doing this pod, how he changed games. You know, with either a goal or like a drop of a shoulder and an assist, or his work rate, the semi-final against Aradippou here, where he ran his fucking socks off, literally. So losing a player like that is always going to be a loss. The thing is with Andreu is he comes in. He's short like Loizo. He's built like Loizo. He's got a left foot. And immediately the parallels, people are going to start drawing them. They're different players. They've got different characteristics.
Yeah, of course. But what I'm saying is that him coming, how can I put this? It's like you get a divorce and you meet a different partner, as Pumen, and you know, you're getting over him a lot faster than what you expected to, you know? Because if we didn't have the options on the wing, it would have made things worse. This is what I'm saying. I'm not, you know, saying that it's better that he's gone or, you know, whatever. No, he was a really good player.
I'm half expecting some to say, yeah, but in this new relationship, she isn't complaining anything like the last one. Fucking hell.
Dave Ferica.
Oh, fucking hell. Let's get some comments up, man. Hang about. We've done the Berg one. Tell me your opinion on why every time we have the Agua or rest or something like that, Omonia have a shit game right after. I just think it's one of those things, man. I think it's one of those things.
I mean, it doesn't make sense because on the one hand, you need the rest. And then when you get the rest, it seems like you're losing the intensity or you seem a bit complacent or a bit more relaxed. I don't know. But I don't know. You know, looking back at the game against Apollon, yeah, I do agree that Apollon didn't let us do our game. We conceded stupid goals or whatever, but we still created enough chances to beat that game, you know? So I don't think that, okay, maybe Apollon wanted it more. Maybe they had more passion. They were winning the second balls. There were a lot of negatives in that game, but it wasn't as if we didn't do enough to win that game on any other day. It was in two games, like with Apoel and Apollon, we conceded 4 goals and the opponents had 5 or 6 shots on goal. So
yeah, let's not forget Evandro misses from 5 yards out against Apollon.
But that was still the beginning. I mean, they were playing with a player less. Still, okay, I'm not saying that Apollon didn't deserve to win, but on another day, if you like, okay, look at the game with the European game we played against the Ukrainians the other day. It wasn't something really special, but you kept a clean sheet and you scored 2 goals.
Well, this is it. And I think, to be honest, I don't want us to go back and review the season in May and say, if we didn't drop points here, if we didn't drop points there, because there have been games where perhaps we should have dropped points and we've come away with wins. You know, like Krasava. Krasava, you know, we didn't really do much until Maya got the assist for who's got the winner? Was it Hadji Giovanni?
No.
So it's not as if like we were knocking on the door. Koulibaly had the goal this and that, but we weren't like knocking on the door.
Yeah.
So listen, at the end of the day, right now, if you look at the league table, we're 2 points behind Buffon. You know, I said this after the Apoel game. If I said to you the beginning of November we'd be second or first and we just drawn against Apoel on the 9th of November, what would you say? You'd be like, it'd be difficult. But here we are, beginning of December, 2 points off top place. I don't think there's anything to really complain about, in all fairness.
No, to be honest, Omonia is surprising me pleasantly this season. Like you said and we said, you know, that something seems to be changing this season. There's more character, the right approach, mentality. Some players, you know, stepped up, leadership. So definitely there are more positives than negatives. But it's still early on. In December, we are still yeah, that's it. Something you couldn't say about Omonia last year or, you know, okay, the year before. Then we tried towards the end when Anastasiou came to do something, but it's different. It's difficult for me to believe that Omonia is not gonna compete till the end, the way they're playing. But you know, you never know what's gonna happen. And like I said, we've got all the derbies away from home, so we have to show that we want it more. We have to try harder. We maybe need to sign a couple of players. Maybe, you know, you never know how it's gonna be, how it's gonna affect the team. So we have to keep everyone ready. We don't be stiff.
Yeah. For sure. Right, let's have a look. Still, some set pieces tonight. Set pieces. See what I keep telling you guys. When you can't score goals in open play, you need the plan B. There you go. There you go. My guy. Lovely. Our first female comment. Lovely.
Thank you.
My prediction is that by January 2026 we won't be having any Polish players.
Possible.
I have to comment on Roy's internet. It's good. I just hope he didn't switch ISP. Are you still with your last service provider, Roy? Have you changed them?
No, I've changed.
Oh, he's changed. See. Stel and Roy, who travel back in time, and Stepan Roaches. Good to see you guys again. Bravo, what's going on, my bro? Mushalovsky next year won't be on catalog. Difficulty. Yeah, true. Yes, NOCHOFTES back in its original form. You prefer him to have 5 skill.
Φίλου προτιμώ να έχει 5 skills στο 5
5 out of 5 rather than 8 out of 10.
Yeah, okay.
Fair. No, Fiddle, never forget that one of the most prolific strikers of our era was unremarkable in almost everything except space, positioning, and finishing. Talking about Muller. Thomas Muller. Initially, I thought that this pod was from 2 years ago. Well,
it is.
You never know. Well, I had hair then. Aye, Roy, anything is better than a toxic
marriage. Huh? Δεν κατάλαβα ρε φίλε. Anything is better than a toxic marriage. Δεν κατάλαβα. Εσύ κατάλαβες ρε.
Listen, I guess people are just so dumbstruck that we're doing this together that they're just shook. They're shooketh. They're shooketh. Andreo must study Yildiz dribbling skills. He's a good player. Good player. Stel and Roy, the earth is healing. See? Come to us. We'll solve everything. We'll solve everything. Look at this one. What the fuck? I saw your faces and thought, what the fuck? Is this from the archives? Oh, marriage.
Okay. Sorry.
Right. I think his spell check must have been playing up. Bro, we got 101 people watching live. It's like the good old days. You know what? I think someone sent a message to everyone going, Still and Roy are on, and now they're all tuning in. They're all tuning in. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your NOUNA. Smash that like button. Join our Patreon for €3 a month because we've got analysis stuff and more pre-game stuff coming up. Do it. What? Andrea, your opinion on where we need new transfers, and have you heard any rumors for players from the Cyprus League? Is it just for Omonia or just like in general? Because it says players from the Cyprus League.
Yeah, maybe he meant for Omonia, but Kypriakon Brathima. Well,
I've heard 2 names. One of them being a goalkeeper, but today I heard that he could be going somewhere else. But today I also heard another name for a winger. But again, I'm not going to say nothing.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
I'm going to message you. Have you got your phone on you?
Yeah. Wait. I'll send it the same time and see if we've got the same name.
Okay. Type it.
1,
and tell me when you're going to send it. Send.
I have it. 1, 2, 3.
Yes! Yes! Ah, lovely. There you go. See, we're in sync. Like yin and yang. Near to spell check. Sensi and Anderegen. Right, so let me tell you about this Sensi guy. Sensi has been sensational, okay? Yeah. But they're going to have problems with this player because he's got injuries that are fucking all over the gaff. Muscular problems. And the difference, and this is what I'm saying about Eiting, how I think we're going to use him sparingly. We're not going to smash him every single game, right? But with them, they're going to play him every single game. They can't afford to rest him. And that's when they're going to have problems.
Yep.
A winger from Anorthosi?
No.
For the 4th year in a row, I'm screaming on top of my lungs, get a clear 6, second 8, right winger and goalkeeper.
Yes.
Yeah.
6, 8, okay. Winger, it depends. Good θέση να πιάσει. Okay, the player we sent, I really like him. Allah, if that means that Evangelos Andreou is going to play less, I'm not sure if I want that.
Well, he's separate, isn't he? So,
Yeah.
and the thing is, he can play either flank.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing, right? Again, and I'm not gonna dump on Loizu 1 second, right? But it looks to me that Andreu looks comfortable playing either flank, whereas perhaps Loizu didn't look comfortable playing on the left. I don't know.
Yeah, but did they give him that opportunity? I don't think they gave him ever that opportunity, Loizo.
No, not many.
Yeah.
Not many. Where I sit, we all joke about Hagi Giovanni always being gassed after every run he makes and genuinely unfit. But to be fair, he's all right. What do you think? Yeah, what do you think of him?
Okay, I knew him. He had like a big name when he started off Panathinaikos, and he played with under Jovanovic a lot. But okay, there are many talents in Greece, both Olympiakos, Panathinaikos, but their career doesn't, pan up the way they expected to. I think he's got something good in him. And it helps that, Masouras and Kitsos are also there. I actually met up with them when I went to Greece a couple of weeks ago. When it was the break, we were on the same flight with the three of them. So, yeah, we had a chance to talk a lot. I think he's good, but in the beginning, I think he tried too hard to prove himself. I think he just has to relax and take the opportunity every time it comes. I think if αν ηρεμήσει λίγο, μπορεί να προσφέρει. He's a good player, I think. He's not top, but he's a good player. He's a good option to have.
I think he's had a slow start to his Omonia career, and I think didn't he have an injury over pre-season, and he was out for a bit.
Yeah.
He was out for a bit, and I still think he's finding his rhythm. I still think he's finding his feet at the club, still learning his teammates. Let's not forget that players like Masura and Gitso. Okay, let's not mention Gitso because he was at the club before, but Masura last season, completely different player to what he is this season, right? So perhaps he needed a year just to settle, just to get some stability. And I think with Hagi Giovanni, as you mentioned, he came with a big reputation. And again, when we signed him, I was like, why are we going for another Elena kind of thing? But from what I've seen of him, I think the one thing that lets him down is that he tries too hard. And what I mean by that is don't try and beat a player so many times. Do the simple thing.
That's what I meant, Adam. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Keep it simple, because I think that when he does hit top form, he's going to be frightening. And we've seen some of the goals that he scored this season, like the one against Agrida where he crept in back stick, or the one against Krasava where he broke through the offside trap, and even today where he took a touch around the goalkeeper. He's got it in him, but I think he still needs time to settle. So it's easy to get on the lad's back, and people are going to say, well, Andreu has been at the club for a short length of time, and he's doing better. Again, like two different players, and you've got a youngster that's got nothing to lose, whereas you've got another player that's come with a pretty big reputation.
It's the pressure. It's the different pressure.
It is, of course. Right, let's have a look. Thin Lizzie intensifies. That's one more. That's why he's underrated. He needs to play more, even as a sub. Hagi Giovanni's is a 45 to 60 minute player max. After the goal he scored was out of breath and he was done. Well, again, I just think that it's fitness, and it will come eventually. He's played at a high level, man. Let's not forget the Turkish league is tough. It is a competitive league. I mean, how is Simic doing out there, by the way? Is he even still out there?
No, I think he left from Turkey, and I've got him on Instagram. I think he's moved to another club. I don't think
wait a minute. He's with Dambrauskas at Sabah. He's with Dambrauskas at Sabah.
Okay.
In Azerbaijan. Okay. So he didn't exactly do well there, did he? So, there's no Hagi Giovanni, there's only Hagi Vasily. Leave Pedro alone. We're going to need a good transfer, guys, no matter the issue. If we want to win the title, if Buffalo bang this January. Yeah, but Buffon can only bring in 4 and they need to get rid of players as well, man. Let's not forget, it's not just about bringing in players. They need to get rid of players. And who are they going to get rid of?
No, good question.
Who are they going to get rid of? I mean, I'm looking at their squad. In terms of the goalkeepers, they're all right with their goalkeepers. Defensively, okay, they got the Serbian lad that's hardly played, but he's on loan, I think.
Yeah, and he's under 21, number any.
Yeah. Are they going to get rid of Bruno?
I don't think so. No.
You know, unless a team sees how well Jaja has been doing or Correa has been doing and they want to come in for him. But I can't see Buffon letting anyone else go. Di Matta, maybe. But then again, they signed him in the summer, so would they let him go? Baswamina, I don't know. I think Anderegen is heavy for a big team. What do you think? You tell me what you think about Anderegen first.
We've seen this scenario of players playing for smaller clubs and doing well, and then when they go to bigger clubs, they don't really. I don't know if Anderegen is one of those cases. I mean, I remember I used to like Cambrera, and I thought Cambrera, I rated him a lot because he was feisty. He's like a
South American striker kind of.
Yeah, he's like my dog. He's like my dog, Pitbull. So yeah, but Anderegen, he's good. He knows how to score. I mean, he's proved himself in the league for 2 years almost now. Whichever team signs him, I think he's gonna help the team. But I don't know if he's ready to play for one of the bigger clubs. Maybe I'm wrong, but because I haven't watched a lot of games. Full games of Ahna to see his movement off the ball and stuff like that, you know. So I don't have ολοκληρωμένη άποψη.
Well, look, I mean, Cabrera left Ethnigo. He went to Ajax last season. He was outstanding. This season, he's had injuries left, right, and centre, and I think that they've got an offer on the table for him. That's probably why he hasn't been playing as much as well, even though he's come back from injuries. So let's see. Look, I like Anderegen, but there are levels. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't know. You know, scoring goals for Ethnigo is all well and good, but when you go to an Omonia or an Abuel, the level of expectation goes up. So I don't know.
We'll
as good as Masura is this season, he couldn't find me in the box even if I was on the squad. Come on. Let's not be negative, Stavromo. Come on. Love to see the OG duo back. Come on.
Thank you.
He was Maioli. Maioli's a cracking player. That's what I've been saying about him. Couple of years, he's been top.
Γιατί πάμε να ομοιάσουμε, ρε φίλε.
Yeah. No, but they won't sell him to us. Mind you, they need to raise 2 million by the end of the year. No deals with Ethnigo. Please, no more Syria. Cabrera with Berg, good. Cabrera, now not good. Yeah, he's been injured, Tom. He's been injured. P.S. I just left the country. I'm not coming back. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Well, bro, is there anything else you want to discuss? Anything else you want to go over?
Not really, Ray. I just want to say that I was happy to jump on the pod, you know. Like I said, I know it's not going. This pod is not going to be a very popular one, but nonetheless, it was.
I've got 110 people watching live. What are you talking about?
Εντάξει, σε φάση που είχαμε 500, δεν πειράζει. Αλλά χάρηκα πολλά που I jumped on. I don't know if this is the beginning of me jumping on a bit more often or it was just a one-off. I'm not going to make any promises I won't keep, but I really enjoyed it. I want to thank everyone who sent me the messages of support and they were happy to see me again. Happy to jump on the pod with you, my man, always. Pleasure. Και όσον αφορά την ομάδα, ο κόσμος να τη στηρίζει, φαίνεται να γίνεται μια καλή δουλειά φέτος, να έχει κάτι διαφορετικό σε σχέση με τις προηγούμενες χρονιές, αλλά πάντα να προσπαθούμε να είμαστε ισορροπημένοι στις αντιδράσεις μας, να έχουμε απαιτήσεις, να θέλουμε να βγαίνει καλά η ομάδα και ελπίζουμε να αντέξουμε ως το τέλος και να μας δώσει χαρές η ομάδα μας φέτος. Και να είμαστε δάμε να τα λαλούμε, ελπίζω λίγο πιο συχνά. Και πάμε σιλάκα μου.
Let's go, boys and girls. That was NOCHOFTES. We're back, baby. Like, subscribe, tell your NOUNA, smash that like button, comment, join our Patreon for €3 a month. And before we wrap it up, you know that we do the podcast, This is Goba, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in case those of you who don't know, in 1975, the Chalufka, the refugees, we created our own league, the Goba League. And there was an Omonoia, there was an Aradippou, there was a Akhna, this and that. And there was one player who started their football career at Akhna in the Goba League. Do you know who that player was?
Any Dyer?
No, think bigger. I'll give you a clue. Centre forward, Newcastle, England. Les Ferdinand. And guess who is scheduled to be on This is Goba tomorrow?
Ooh. Whoa.
I'll leave you guys with that. Good night, boys and girls.
Καληνύχτα, καληνύχτα.